Atlas tells us, a month and a half, 2 months. It'll take them longer than that to build the building. But they're afraid they'll run into an easement problem, or that they get the building built and they still don't have the gas. So they just throw that aside and go to the next place. So we've lost a lot of possible looks.
I know my understanding is they're building at this time a 1 million square foot industrial plant in Pikeville, and I heard one of the spokesmen of that plant address that new project. It will provide over 1,000 jobs, many of them high-tech jobs, all of them good jobs. And he said when we went to Pikeville, one of the things that was appealing to us is that they had natural gas going to that site. So we can't afford to miss the opportunity. Any other comments or questions? If not, all in favor of this resolution, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, nay. And that motion carries. Items 8 and 9 on your agenda actually run together. I apologize for that, for any confusion, but those items have been addressed in the passing of this resolution. And again, Director Jones, thank you for the work that you've done to bring this to the table. Number 10 on your agenda is to approve board members for Muhlenberg County Tourism. And with the court's approval to the Muhlenberg County Tourism, I would like to appoint Malcolm West for a 3-year term, Bobby Mayhew for a 3-year term, David Jernigan for a 3-year term, and Jessica Browning, who is president of our chamber, to a 1-year term, please. Do we have a motion to approve these people?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion been made by Magistrate Bullock. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Magistrate Phillips. Any questions or discussions about these appointments?
Judge, I appreciate the appointment. I was excited, just like you were, to be at the first meeting today, and they're really working hard to re-energize some of our projects that we talked about. I'm going to abstain from voting for this, as I don't feel right voting for myself, but I do appreciate the appointment. Look forward to serving.
Thank you for being willing to serve. Appreciate it. And I appreciate that commission. They're working hard. So, another volunteer group, I might add. Any questions or discussions? Any additional questions or discussions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. That motion carries. We also have an item on our agenda to discuss Paradise Park. And if I may, please, I don't think this is going to require a motion or a second, but our county attorney, Ryan Rice, and myself have met with this committee a few different times. And they're in the process of just kind of reorganizing and looking at some different ways to maybe make that park more appealing and more effective. Just want to make sure they have good organization. So we'll be addressing that as a fiscal court in the not too distant future. So, but we don't have all the information we need probably to start making appointments and that kind of thing at this time. Any questions about that? So we have an item on our agenda, and I'm assuming that Magistrate Phillips may have had this placed on the agenda. I don't know that, but it's District 4, Cornett Road, speed limit. Would you like to address that, sir?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. About a month ago, actually it was the same day the fiscal court meeting, and I was coming to work. The county road department was out there and they put up a road sign, speed limit sign of 45 miles an hour. And actually put the sign in a bad spot. It's around the curve from where it should be. That road is crooked. We have school buses, we have people that walk on that road. We have bicyclists that come through there, and 45 miles an hour is way too fast. Even according to the guys that were putting it up that day, they tried to drive it, and they said they couldn't do it at 45 miles an hour. I would like for the court to consider dropping that down to at least 35. I've talked with some of the neighbors, Mr. Finley, some of the others, and I think we all have the same consensus that it's too fast. And I don't know of any roads in our district that are good and well enough to drive 45 miles an hour, so I would urge the court to look at all of these roads.
Okay, thank you very much for that comment.
Can I speak now?
Of course.
Okay, I'm getting hearing calls from both directions. Some of them wants it lower, some of them says leave it alone. So I don't live out there. What I did, I went up on 181 and I drove it from one end to the other, trying to stay at that 45 speed limit. It's 4.4 miles, and 6 times I made it up to 45 miles an hour, but almost every time, as soon as I got to it, I had to hit my brakes because it was a hill or a curve. One time, I got a little over 3/10 of a mile that I stayed 45 miles an hour. So, in my opinion, 45 is too fast.
I got a call today from one of the community members as well, and they were hoping that it would be left as it is. And I mentioned to the sheriff, I wanted the sheriff's thoughts on the road, so he and I actually drove it. We come in from the 171 route and come over to 181. And there were times when we could run 45 comfortably, but there were also times when we probably couldn't run 25 comfortably. So there are some bad spots on it.
And there was one point that once I passed over a hill and I got going, well, then there was a farmer that was moving equipment across the road, and I had to hit the brakes pretty hard.
I think I know the person that you all talked to, because I think I talked to him also, and he was totally against putting any signs up. But according to the sheriff, that if it's not posted, the speed limit is 55 miles
That's
an hour.
what he told me.
And, you know, like I said, we have people, it's not the people that live on that road that worries me as much as it is the people that come through there all the time that nobody has a clue who they are. They're not gonna know what the speed limit is on that road. And if they see that 45 mile an hour sign, they're probably gonna run into the field up there at Mr. Penley's house, the next curve, so.
I hate to talk, but hey, I've lived there for about 40 years now. One time, a gas truck, LP gas truck came around the curve right there where I live, turned over. I had one person to run through the uprights for the carport. I've had one person to run down the road to my barn. So, just because they didn't know the curves was there, so the speed in the curves is the problem, really. So, y'all do what's in mind.
Thank you, Chief. What is the pleasure of the court in regard to item 12 on your agenda?
My opinion is we drop it down to 35 at least.
Okay, you're going to put that in form of a motion?
I make a motion for the safety of the people on the road that we drop it down to 35 miles an hour.
So the motion's been made that the speed limit on Cornet Road be reduced to 35 miles per hour. Is there a second to this motion made by Magistrate Phillips?
Second.
Second by Magistrate West. Mr. Rice, is there any reason that you should comment on this at this point, or would you like to comment on this?
Assuming it's been adopted as a county road, this court has the authority to adjust the speed limit as long as it doesn't conflict with pending state law. So it's a pleasure of the court whether or not they want to reduce the speed limit to 35 miles an hour, provided it's a county road.
Okay, thank you very much. Cornet Road is a county road, so the motion has been made and it's been seconded. Is there any additional questions or discussion? If not, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. That motion carries. We had a magistrate also that wanted us to put item 13 on the agenda, discuss Merle Travis Center. And I believe that was you, Magistrate Bullock.
Yes, sir. Judge, I looked at this and I see where the Merle Travis Center is costing the community $60,000 a year. You know, we're not breaking even. And I'm wondering, what do we need to do to help with, was it Mike, the guy that's in charge of it, Judge? To utilize this thing, to get it up and going, to make some revenue. You know, we can't justify to have something that's costing us money like that with the shape the county's getting in, you know, from a farming operation that we run, you know, I couldn't afford to have that 60,000 sitting there, it just cost me money. We could use that in different 911, you know, fire department, sheriff department. We can utilize that money elsewhere besides costing. So, you know, what do we do, you know? Do we hire somebody for commission? Do we throw it on to the ag center duties to utilize that? Do we close it and cut the power off to save money? I think that's something we need to be addressing to see what we can do to save us there, because we need to save money.
And I appreciate those remarks, and I may address our magistrates and Mr. Rice, the court, and our guest today by saying that I met with the chairperson of the Merle Travis Board, I believe it was Monday afternoon late, and we discussed the cost of the Merle Travis Center. Unfortunately, if I'm not mistaken, the 60,000 per truck, but I think it cost 60,000 about 6 months operation. Is that correct, Bob? I think the last 6 months of 2018, it cost us about $60,000 to operate the Merle Travis Center.
We were down, for the July 1 through 12/31, we were down about 23,000.
Oh, that's 23,000 for the 6 month period, so 60,000 for a year is, okay, so stand corrected there. But I know there was an extended period of time where we only took in about $800, so I think you're right, something has to be done. As I met with Mr. Hudson, and I do want to pause and say this, Mr. Hudson's like many of the people in our community we serve, he is a volunteer. And he has a passion for thumb picking, he has a passion for the Merle Travis Center. And he assured me that they were ready to make some adjustments to try to do a better job of recruiting people and getting sponsors to the Merle Travis Center. And my reply to him was, it has to change, and it has to do so quickly, because if it doesn't, we're going to we're going to continue to lose a lot of money on the Merle Travis Center. So what do we need to do? I guess that's the $1 million question, but obviously some changes do have to be made.
Bob, will we paying somebody $18,000 or something to go over there that watches over there? Are we paying the guy money?
He's working 20 hours a week.
Right. And so part of that money it's costing us is $20,000. There's plenty of times I drive down this bypass in the evenings and there's nothing going on.
Well, it's an issue that has to be addressed, that's for sure. And I appreciate you getting it to the agenda and bringing it to our attention. It's going to have to be addressed.
Judge?
Yes.
I'm going to go Andrew brought it up because we've been out kicking the ground a little bit. We mentioned today tourism.
Yes.
First of all, I guess we need to find out the quote chain of command. Do we need to set up a new committee? I think someone had mentioned today that they haven't met in a while and so forth. And go down there and set up a new committee, even if, like we kicked around today about the fact of just having a local talent on Friday night, maybe a talent contact, something that you bring in, and we did some figures on it, about $1,000 a month. That's more than what it's bringing in now for $800 in 6 months. I hate to see it closed because we're, with Merle Travis's name on it, with the museum down there, but there's got to be a stopping point somewhere. So I like, if you don't care, maybe you see maybe a new committee, get some new energy going, and go from there and give it so much time and take it from there. But I believe it can be turned around. I really do.
I certainly do too. We know it can do better than what it's doing.
I'm sorry?
We know it can do better than what it's doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It has to. This is not optional. It has to.
Yes.
And there were times that it was, since that place was, I think Bob can validate this, it used to be more utilized than it is today for the Felix Martin Center when they opened, and a lot of those events had gone to that because it's a bigger venue. Would it be possible that you're going to have this Paradise Park Board? Many of the people involved with Paradise Park Board are also very involved with thumb picking. Is it a way that you could combine those to let that committee kind of oversee both of those? Because many of those people that are on that Paradise Park Board are also very involved with Merle Travis and thumb picking.
And it's something that we could approach them about. The Paradise Park they've done, that committee has done a good job of sustaining that. They've raised all of their own monies. I don't know if the county contributing a great deal to that Paradise Park. Most of those monies have been raised by that committee. And again, we're talking about people that volunteer their time and services. Yes.
You know, I'm sitting there listening to it, and I hear the deficit that he was talking about, $60,000 a year. If you have entertainment over there on a regular basis, like Malcolm was talking about, I consider that. But if it's not working, we need to lease it or rent it to a private entity that would bring entertainment, not at our cost, but at their cost. If you have the public involved, it's like this meeting. There's so much to be done. If you get a private person say, I'm gonna give you $2,000 a month income for your building, and we have Goldies over here in Muhlenberg, come in and perform every Friday night, you know what you got, or you have gospel music, or something of that nature. You don't have to worry about renting this or doing this, you have somebody else doing it for you. So you might consider leasing it, or doing it to a private entity. And get an entertainment group out of Nashville, say, hey, we're gonna book this up, we're gonna rent this out, because when I called over there, it was like, well, that's booked. Oh, that's the price this week. Oh, that's the price next week. What is going on? And who prices what? And what time of year is it more than it is less? So my question is, we need to set up rules and standards if we're gonna utilize it to our best advantage. Like Malcolm said, we could have youth group over every Saturday night. We have a problem with our youth that you talked about. They have no place to go. So let's get the churches involved and say, hey, would you lease this, Second Baptist, lease this where we can have youth and have gospel and entertainment and use it to our benefit and not to a deficit to our master and our county.
Thank you very much, and we're gonna move on, but I would like to say, if you have a comment in regard to Merle Travis Center, or if you have an idea, and thank you for each of you that have shared, please share that with your magistrate. And if you get a chance to visit with them this afternoon, if you're not able to do that, if you would call them and share your thoughts and ideas about the Merle Travis Center with them, that would be helpful, because we do know that we're going to have to make some changes, and they will most likely need to come soon. Anything else in regard to that, Master? Okay. We're glad to have Greg Copeland with us today. Thank you so much for being here. And he's going to address the court in regard to an update on our energy efficiency grant progress, please.
Thank you. Congratulations to all the new magistrates and to the current mayor, or the
Senior member.
of the court. And to you, Judge.
Thank you.
I'm Greg Copley. I'm with the UK Center for Applied Energy Research. I have a program with the Department of Local Government where we help local governments upgrade facilities using a process known as energy savings performance contracting. The previous court authorized me and UK to develop an RFP. We held an RFP for energy savings performance contracting where they required energy service companies, or ESCOs we call them, but energy service companies, to do a mandatory walkthrough of the facilities and then develop a proposal for how they would go to guarantee you would save enough money to pay for the project over the life of the project, which would typically be 15 years or so. In doing that, the facilities would basically get updated with new energy efficient equipment, or if the existing equipment still have useful life in it, they will recommission them and buy more time, basically what it is. It's an opportunity for you to upgrade your facilities, upgrade your lighting, upgrade your air conditioning systems, anything that uses energy to be more efficient, and you don't have to worry about the maintenance costs and other costs that fall through as things get older. Takes the Band-Aids off, basically, and gives you new equipment. You have, I would say, 5 proposals that are due in, next Friday to review. I don't know if the court wants to do a committee, a building committee or something like that to kind of hammer them down. I'll be happy to come down and go through the proposals when we get the time set and scheduled. I'll go through them with you to help you decide which ones you want to pursue, if you do, and explain how the process works after that. After proposals come in, they're reviewed. Basically, we usually ask some of the ESCOs, the energy service companies, to come in and do a face-to-face interview presentation type session. They can last about an hour to make so you can ask questions about their proposals. And there's no obligation to accept any of them. You're not obligated to accept any of them. And what comes in on the proposal is negotiable. It's not a take it or leave it type situation like they have in a lot of procurement methods. This is a procurement method that's authorized under 45A of KRS, the legal people in here. So in kind of a nutshell, that's where we are. I don't know if you have any questions, if you're ready to get boxes of books coming in next Friday or not. Yes, sir.
As I say, this has been somewhat timely and costly to the county during this audit, because we've hired some part-time help, whatnot, to help with the audits and stuff, but can our maintenance guys work on these programs and equipment if something happens to them?
If something happens to the new equipment?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. The energy service companies are obligated to provide training
Like,
to,
so we wouldn't have to call somewhere to over the phone service to get help to troubleshoot something?
you could, I mean, they could, but they're required to do training of the operation and maintenance of the facilities, of the new equipment. That's part of the package.
Would the replacement parts be easy to acquire for the stuff that we install,
That's currently
the
there?
new stuff?
Well, for the new stuff, yes, sir.
Say if something went wrong with it, could we acquire parts easily for that?
Yes, sir. And if they're still under warranty, the ESCOs are obligated to repair
And you guarantee a lower energy bills?
them. The ESCOs guarantee you lower energy bills. The energy service companies and to the point where it will pay for the project. And if it doesn't lower the consumption of the energy to where it pays for the project, then they're obligated to make up the difference and fix the problem.
What is something like this going, we're looking at cost? I've heard anything to $2 million.
And that's certainly within range. And the court is allowed to pick and choose what they want. It's not an all or nothing proposition, and it can also be done in phases. If there's a project that has an immediate payback or a quicker payback, then that can be done first, and you recoup those savings to move on to another phase. It's very fluid, very, very advantageous to the local governments where you drive the train.
Right.
Our county, like many counties across Kentucky, is struggling financially, so when we get these reports back, will there be information available to us how we might pursue grants for some of these projects or do you know if there might possibly be grants available for some of these projects?
DLG has a little bit of grant money that's out now for application. In terms of fitting in the ocean, it's not a great amount of money, but it might be able to seed money to help.
Okay.
The ESCOs are also in part of the contract and part of the deal is negotiate. They can look for grant funding and provide that to you as well.
Very good.
My role is a neutral third party.
Sure.
I'm with DLG or I'm with UK, but have a contract with DLG to provide local governments this service.
Well, I'm sure this has been timely and required a lot of energy and effort on your part and part of those that are assisting and working with you, so I appreciate your efforts. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Judge, I got one more question.
Sure.
How long do you say it take to pay for this thing? We see some revenue coming back from it?
The
15 years?
The projects basically, will be paid out in 15 years.
It might be wore out in
And
15
then
years.
just do another project.
Yeah.
Useful life of the
We
equipment.
ain't got that kind of money.
Well, but you are. You're gonna save.
You know, we got stuff out here, but vehicles tearing down and utilizing, so
I understand. And I think it'll be clear when the proposals come in and we actually get a chance to talk to some of the ESCOs and they can explain it, how they do it. You get to choose the one that's most comfortable for you. And the other big factor that helps these programs is it's not considered while you're borrowing money, but it's not considered against your debt capacity as a county. And it's actually considered revenue because of the savings. And anything they guarantee, if they meet the guarantee, obviously you get to save that. Anything additional that you're saving, you get to keep. You don't split it with them or any of those kind of deals. So and any rebates from power companies or vendors, you get to keep, the county gets to keep as well.
Any other questions?
The original thought behind doing this was we knew we had a lot of equipment that was about to expire. We knew we had a lot of lighting, just like we talked about at the Ag Center, that was, costing us $7,000 just for that building, for the lighting. So the thing was not designed on our end to go in and do a one-size-fits-all, replace everything, and see what you can say and what you can't say. It's for us to essentially have a handbook, so when something does expire or gets beyond repair, that we know what we can put in there is going to be the most efficient thing to use. So I mean, it's more of an industry efficiency handbook for us to use for future projects instead of, I mean, we knew we couldn't, when we took this project on, we knew we couldn't put down $4 million to replace it, and it wasn't feasible for us to do that. But it gives us a better idea of what is efficient when we get to that point. And we did this thing just for the lighting at the Ag Center. I mean, $7,000 a year in savings, we've done it 10 years ago, and it's $7,000. So I mean, and there's some things that aren't going to be as efficient. It's going to take some of the higher dollar investments, outlay capital, it may not be feasible for us to do it until it does completely break down.
Thank you so much for addressing the court. Do you have any other comments? Well,
I'm sure I'll get some more later,
well, again, we appreciate your service at this point.
thank you, sir.
Thank you for your efforts.
When proposals come in, I'll be down to pick mine up.
That'll be fine,
Go
sir.
through it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mr. Coulter. Do we have a motion to pay the bills, please?
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Motion made by Master Luke. Is there a second? Second by Master Phillips. Any questions or discussion? Not all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, nay? And that motion carries. Could we have a motion from the court to go into closed session in reference to a personnel issue, please?
So
Second.
Motion has been made by Master Benton, seconded by Master Bullock. Any questions or discussion? Not all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into closed session. We will